Right guys, Dave Genvy here, aka Bad Boy Genvy, aka Satan. Yeah, I'm Satan. I'm the devil himself. I've proven that to you multiple times. I'm Mr. 666. I run hell for God. I work for God. It's not that I'm against. In the Bible, you got it a bit confused that the devil works against God. How can you work against God when God's the Almighty? Don't work like that. You got to be good if you want to get into heaven. If you're a bad guy, do bad things on this earth, you're going to go to hell. Simple as that. There is the void as well, like purgatory in Catholicism. It's a waiting area because you're not quite ready for heaven yet. You sort of got to think, reflect, what have I done wrong in life, and try to improve yourself before you get into heaven. But yeah, if you've been really bad, you go to hell. Get tortured by Satan, me, my demons, and my ancient Romans. We torture you really fucking bad. Like I'm always going to tell you, put your money in Wisdomtree CRUD. I think oil's actually down today. The price of oil's down a little bit, like 1.5%, something like that. But it'll be going up pretty shortly. You know, you have a spike up, you spike it back down. It's to try and emotionally manipulate you into cashing out of crude oil. But being invested in Wisdomtree CRUD is the only thing that's going to protect you against the Great Reset. It's just oil. It's just a hyperinflation caused by oil shortages. Oil, crude oil, runs your whole economy. You're supposed to transition to free energy now. I've done free energy on this channel. I've showed you how it works. As it was, your lizard bitch king, King Charles, knew about free energy. He knew about it. It's been all stored at Area 51. The Greys had actually shown it you, but told you can't use it yet because you're ruled by the Greys. Well, you used to be, I'm not so sure now. But King Charles has been such a bitch about this because he is going to hell. He's done some terrible things. I'm going to talk about him in a minute. He is going to hell. He knows he is. He's totally fucked. And his family have been killed off one by one around him. Kate Middleton, she's gone. Prince William, if he's not dead yet, he's close to it. I showed you last week how skinny he's looking. He's at a polo match. He's looking like a flipping stick insect. He's so skinny. He really don't look well. So he's either dead or he's nearly dead. What you see in the media is a load of shit. They're trying to make out, King Charles trying to make out Kate Middleton's still alive. I mean, come on. She had chemotherapy and she goes to Troop Another Colour and her hair looks like $1 million. She looks perfect. It's from last year. God's killed her. William's next, or he's already dead. I think he's already dead, to be honest. Camilla's probably next. If you notice with Camilla, I'll show you actually, she's using a walking stick now. She's got an umbrella walking stick and she's like leaning on the stick. I'll show you in a video. So I'm showing you now that Camilla's health is failing, or beginning to. She's got, all of a sudden with her, when she's out and about, she's got this umbrella walking stick that she's leaning on. If you watch this video, King Charles presents a royal title to a rare goat. It's the Royal Family Channel, 5 days ago. It's a recent video. King Charles, You'll see that in the video she's leaning on this umbrella stick. It's a walking stick. And I think that's a fairly new appearance where she really is leaning on it a little bit. You know, she's put it behind her like that. And also they're talking about some rare goats. Why? Because the devil is sometimes referred to as like having goat legs. You see, that's from The Simpsons. If you've ever seen The Simpsons, Ned Flanders turned out to be the devil. Obviously it's a comedy, but he had like goat legs, goat hind legs. So, you know, that video of King Charles talking about a rare goat, it's taken a piss out of me. But if you notice, I haven't got goat legs. I've got man legs, yeah? So I haven't got goat legs. So I don't. He's just taking the piss because he's pissed off that he's going to hell. You've seen the title of the video. King Charles is a paedophile. Yeah. The royal family, a paedophile ring. Whatever I've titled it. Yeah, they're paedophiles. It's a bit fucked up, but it's kind of an initiation rite in the British royals, where you have to be a paedophile to become king, or to become, a ruler. They're all paedophiles. They're flipping. Well, I don't think Harry is. Harry and Meghan, because Harry wasn't next in line for the throne. It was William. William, Kate Middleton, King Charles, and Camilla. Just a paedophile ring. But it's been a paedophile ring for centuries. The British Royal's been a paedophile ring for centuries. I'll prove it all to you in a minute, but for centuries going back, it's been a paedophile ring. They've had child sex slaves. I'll give you some evidence. I'll give you some evidence right now. So, King Charles with Jimmy Savile. Now, these two are always hanging out together. Now, Jimmy Savile's a known, he's obviously dead, but he's in hell. He's a known, very serious child offender who abused a lot of kids. And King Charles, if you go on internet, you go on King Charles with Jimmy Savile, you go on images, there are loads and loads and loads of pictures of King Charles hanging out with Jimmy Savile. Now, King Charles will say, well, we didn't know Jimmy Savile was a paedophile. Reptile, the lizards, reptilians, have a surveillance state. So that phone of mine is under surveillance, right? Everyone knew in Reptile Club, Jimmy Savile was a paedophile. But there was nothing done about it because King Charles is a paedophile. For example, say if you get convicted of being a paedophile, right? You go to prison, yeah? But you are segregated from all the other prisoners. Because say you got some armed robbers in there or some other dangerous criminals that aren't paedophiles. Guess what they're going to do to the paedophiles? They're going to beat the living shit out of them probably, and maybe even kill them. Because who likes paedophiles? Nobody. It's actually God made this suggestion to me. What the paedophiles need, because a paedophile can't help what he's sexually attracted to. So this is an idea now, right, from God in heaven. What the paedophiles could have is CGI child porn, issued by the state, so they don't have to abuse actual children or look at actual child porn. CGI is so good now. It's a way of helping them deal with their affliction. It's like a disease. God has no problem with you being gay. If you're gay, that's between consenting adults. If you're a lesbian or a gay man, it's between consenting adults. It's no issue with it, not bothered, right? But abuse of children to God is a very, very, very serious offence. It gets you put in hell. If you abuse children in any way, if you're bad to kids, you are seriously fucked in the afterlife. And once I'm in power, because I work directly for God, you'll get crucified for that shit. If you start doing stuff like raping kids or murdering kids, abusing them really badly, you'll be put nailed to a cross, you'll be crucified. You'll be whipped up first, be whipped up front and back, really bad. You'll be nailed, you'll be bolted through your kneecaps and through your elbows, through your elbow joints and through your knee joints. You'll be bolted to a fucking cross and you'll be left there to die. That's how it'll work. That's how crucifixions are done properly. Yeah. Sometimes they have them bolted through the hands or something. Like Christians got it a bit confused. You bolt them through the fucking elbows or through the bone, through a fucking main bone. Bolt them through the femur. It's like the thigh bone. Bolt them through the kneecaps, whatever. Just drill through. The Romans didn't have drills, you just had to hammer them in. That's how you do a fucking crucifixion. The serious child offenders are going to get fucking under once I'm king of the fucking world, once Satan's boss. That's how it's going to work with me. God ain't standing for it, and neither am I. It's not standing for it, not having it. But you've got a state at the minute that protects paedophiles, because King Charles is a paedophile. King Charles is a paedophile. So was Kate Middleton, so was fucking Prince William, so was Camilla. It's paedophile ring, it's been a paedophile ring for centuries. So why was this happening with the British royals? Like, why have they formed this paedophile ring for centuries? Well, it's because they have bosses. Their bosses are the Greys. And the Greys were telling them to have this paedophile ring. The Greys have been telling them to be paedophiles. And you say, well, why are the Greys doing that? Well, because the Greys eventually wanted to rule over you. And basically drop the British royals, who's your current kings, in the shit by saying, look, they're paedophiles, they're dirty, horrible paedophiles, even though it's the Greys who are telling them to do that. And like idiots, like total fucking idiots, the British royals went along with it. I mean, I think they're sick fucks anyway. They're totally sick fucks. But you don't do what a fucking alien tells you to do. That's not how it's supposed to work. You know what I mean? Like, alien says jump off a cliff, do you do it? No. You know what I mean? So they shouldn't have done that. The British royals were in a load of shit for it. I don't think Harry and Meghan got involved with it because they weren't in line for the throne. I think it was just, at the moment, King Charles and William and Kate and Camilla. They control the media, they control society. So they can just do whatever they want. They can molest kids, have these paedophile parents bring their kids, molest them in their little paedophile ring, and it's never going to come out. It's like, Prince Charles, his best friend, one of his good friends was Jimmy Savile, who he would have known was a paedophile. So there's the Greys telling them to do it. That is part of it. To later make them look like fucking evil cunts. And the Greys want to be your boss. The Greys are testing you in other ways. Like, you have small dictators like Stalin and Hitler, small guys, to see if you take orders from small guys, because the Greys are small guys. But the funny thing about all of this is the Greys actually have a boss. The Greys have another alien species. There's a boss of them called the Nordics. I haven't mentioned them before. They're supposed to be like tall, blonde species that imagine like if you're into Lord of the Rings, the elves in Rivendell, sort of like that. If you ever watched Lord of the Rings, the elves at Rivendell. And what they were planning to do is to make the Greys look bad at a later date, because the Greys work for the Nordics. The Nordics are the boss of the Greys, just because they're a bit bigger and a bit stronger than them, a bit better at fighting than them. The Greys are terrible at fighting. So eventually the Nordics were going to come down and try and pretend to be your gods and say, look at these terrible Greys, they're the ones who made your reptilian lizard king be a paedophile. You know what I mean? We're your gods, we're your creators, we're here to sort of liberate you from the Greys and from your lizard bitch king. As it is, all of that plan is utterly shit, right? Because the truth is, the Greys and the Nordics are scared of you. They're scared of reptilian and monkey because they can't take you in a fight. Okay, that's what you need to understand. So the boss is supposed to be reptilians and monkeys, because best at fighting. You're not very smart, you're stupid. But it's not about that, it's about who's best at fighting. Because otherwise, they can't walk among you If they try and be boss of you, you just beat them up. So it don't work. Their little strategy. They want to use you as a weapon in the stars, basically. Also in the Nordics wanted to be your boss, eventually. So the whole thing is utterly, utterly stupid. The British Royals are a fucking joke. The person who's supposed to be boss is me. Because I'm a fucking hard bastard. I've called these people out. I've called the Nordics out. I've been calling them out for punch-up for fucking ages. They haven't come down to have one with me because they're fairy boys. They're just Rivendell fairy boys. I'm like Sauron. Scary motherfucker. And then the Greys can't fight to save their fucking lives. So they're not supposed to be boss of anything. I mean, how it might work eventually is the Nordics. I think they're supposed to be quite good looking. I ain't actually seen one. They can just be your sex slaves. That's how it can be. You got the Greys as your tech slaves, making your computer tech, which they already do anyway, but maybe make them work a bit harder so they don't build all these stupid faults. So they don't make the tech as good as it should be. So they can be your computer tech slaves, right? And then you can have the Nordics as your sex slaves. If they're good looking, if they're attractive, because I don't see what other purpose they'd serve to humanity. Because the way it might be in future, if women, reptilian women and monkey women, get their brains screwed on right, they might realise that a lot of the men they're shagging out there are just total pussies, and they're producing a lot of shit men who are no good at fighting. I run my mouth constantly. I run my mouth constantly on my phone and on this fucking camera. And no one comes to fight me. Not yet, anyway. I mean, I'm offering out for punch-ups for fucking ever and a day. I am Satan, though. But, like, you got a lot of weak men out there that may not be able to get pussy eventually. Because, one, they can't get you pregnant. Their sperm counts are a fucking joke. They're pussies. Women have been making men who are just fucking shit. Skinny, weak little men. Sperm counts are crap. They can't get you up the duff. They can't get you pregnant. And they're no good at fighting. So that's your one attribute. Your one attribute's fighting. That's it. You ain't got any other attributes. So, you know, eventually it might be a situation where a lot of these skinny little bitches I call beta bitches, like instead of alpha badasses like me, might not be able to get that much pussy, but that's where the Nordics can come in. You might be able to shag the Nordics, who apparently are really good looking, like blondes, tall blondes. So, you know, that might cheer up the beta bitches who are struggling to get reptile or monkey pussy. Because the reptile and monkey pussy is going to proper men like me, alpha badasses. I keep telling the women, you're stupid. You're making fucking skinny, weak little bitches, beta bitches, shit men. They've got no balls for fighting. They've got shit sperm counts. They're struggling to get you pregnant. They're fucking useless. You're producing crap out your vaginas. You have a kid with a beta bitch. If you do manage to get pregnant, what slides out your vagina usually is a bag of shit. Because humanity needs to be all about fighting tough guys. Yeah, that's why we need a resurgence of the Roman Empire, because that was all about being tough, you know, fighters, tough, hard guys. Not your fairy boy mincer. I mean, look at your king, for fuck's sake. Your lizard bitch king. King Charles, he's a fairy mincer. He's a fairy boy mincer. And he is a pedo as well. And most pedos are fairy boy mincers. So, yeah, just this is the situation. It's pretty terrible one. So how are things supposed to be? Well, the first thing that needs to happen is reptile and monkey women need to understand they're shit at fighting. And feminism is a load of crap. It's a load of bullshit lies been sold to you. It's been sold to you by your lizard bitch king who works for the Greys, because the Greys and the Nordics wanted to make your society more feminised and your men more limp-wristed pussies, What you've got out there in society at the minute is a bunch of fairy boys. Reptile and monkey fairy boys. Soft bitches. And that's what the Greys wanted. The Greys and the Nordics, who are soft bitches themselves, because I keep running my fucking mouth and they don't come down here. They don't come down here for punch up because I'm a hard bastard and they're not, right? They wanted your society to be more feminised, more soft, feminism to be a big thing, and you're meant to be all fairy boy, weak boys, little bitch mincer fairies, right? So that they can be easily dominated by the Nordics and Greys. They wanted to make the society more sissy, more girly, more feminised. Right, but that's a shit strategy. That's a good strategy for the Nordics or Greys if they want to dominate you, but really, even then, as they walk among you, you're going to suss them out. It wouldn't really have worked, I don't think. It's supposed to be humanity, both reptile and monkey on top. Right? And what you need in the stars to start getting more Earths is the opposite of sissy fairy boys. You need really, really scary, hard men. Problem is, the women, because they've been sold this shit about feminism now, and remember, women are crap at fighting. Women are good at making babies and being mothers. That's what women are good at, and doing light domestic chores around the house. Yeah, their main skill is making babies, making more fighting men. Right, because they got this feminist crap, right, this shit, absolute excrement being sold to them. They want a situation where the man they've got in the house is a weak little fairy boy mincer. Why? So they can sort of dominate him. So she's a feminist and she wants to control the home. She wants to be the boss in the house. Even though, you know, she's got this fairy boy mincer, this skinny little weak bitch of a man who's struggling to get her pregnant. His sperms don't work. You know, he's no good at fighting. He don't like fucking fighting. You don't like smacking his head off things. That's your primary weapon, by the way. Fists are good at hitting stuff, but that's a lot better. Think of that as a big fucking fist. Yeah? It's fucking solid. And you just grab a dude and smack it off his fucking jaw. Again and again and again. Yeah? So you need to realise this is fucking solid. You need to train it to be fucking harder. You little bitches. You soft little bitches. And this is the problem. The women want to get with soft little fairy men that they can control. Yet, if you put them men on an alien battlefield, you put them little soft bitch men on an alien battlefield, guess what's going to fucking happen? They'll probably have a fucking panic attack, a nervous breakdown or something. Instead of being there, just fucking loving it. Can't wait to fucking butcher the fucking aliens. Can't wait to get their fucking hands on that xenomorph and rip half its fucking face off. Right? Instead of being like that, you've got a bunch of fairy mincers and they won't get you new Earths. They just won't do it. And that's the problem. That's what the women have fucked up. Now, the other thing they've fucked up on, something else, because the women are just totally stupid. If you do get a woman that's got half of a brain, very rare. Most of the women are morons. If you do get a woman that's got half a fucking brain and she's actually got a badass as a husband or a boyfriend or whatever, who is good at fighting, she'll be very possessive of him. She'll be very selfish. Even though his genetics need to be spread out. He needs to be shagging lots of women and getting lots of women pregnant because he's so good at fighting. But his wife or his girlfriend will be really selfish, possessive. Oh no, I've got to have him all to myself. Nah, you haven't. Well, you've got to realise, ladies, I don't care how fucking good looking you are. I don't care if you're a fucking 10. You're just a vagina. You're just a baby-making machine on legs. That's all you fucking are. It's the men that are the gods. The men that are gods, the badass fighting men in particular. I mean, the beta bitches can be important to God as well, because they're the ones who do the working. The grafting, building houses and whatever else. They might not be that good at fighting. They do all the grafting, hard labour. Yeah. So women, you can be a fucking 10. You can be an absolute fucking stunner. I don't give a flying fuck. Yeah, you're just a woman. You're just a baby-making machine. That's all you are. And it's the fucking hard bastard fighting men that are the most important, because they're the ones who get on that battlefield and start massacring the fucking aliens. As if you're going to have women do that. Women, they're fucking shit at fighting. You need the most scary men. And this is what the women need to understand. Feminism, load of crap. You don't have any power, really, in the afterlife. So get that through your fucking stupid head. You need to share, if you have got a badass of a man, you need to share him a little bit. You have to just get over that one. Stop being so fucking possessive. He needs to be shagging half the fucking town to make more fighting badasses, right? And what's the other thing? Oh, yeah. Stop trying to have power in the house. I know what I'll do. I'll pick a skinny, weak little bitch of a man who can't get me pregnant, right? So I can rule him in the house. I'll just have him kissing my ass. Stupid strategy, ladies. I mean, if that's all you can get, if you can't get an alpha badass man, then fair enough. But really, you should be getting pregnant to one. Maybe just have him in the house for doing chores. I'm trying to get them hooked up. I'm trying to get it so they get fucking poontang with the fucking Nordics. The Nordics, I keep offering them bitches out for fucking punch-up. And they don't come down here because they know who I am. They know I'm Satan, a scary fucking man. So they know not to fuck with me. They know they know their place now. When you got a lizard bitch king, a snivelling little lizard bitch king like Charles, they just tell him whatever. They just tell him, do this, do that, and he does it. You know, if they told him to fucking get on his knees and kiss their dicks, that fucking idiot probably do it. He's a little bitch boy. It's only me coming here and saying how it really works that has changed things. Again, they're overawed by the technology. You're stupid, your tech's crap. Honestly don't think you would have invented much more than the wheel. You're so stupid. If you'd been on your own, you're so moronic, so brain fucking dead. You can't fucking think of anything. You don't really do thinking very well. You just need to be able to hold a machine gun and march and pull a fucking trigger on a battlefield. That's it, you fucking morons. Don't try to do much more thinking than that, because you get yourself confused. You know what I mean? Under me, you know, there's a zero tolerance policy. Once I'm king, zero tolerance policy. But to meet the paedophiles halfway, because they can't help what they're attracted to, CGI, child porn that's issued by the state. It's just CGI though. You know, CGI now, you can do anything with CGI really. The special effects are really good. There's another idea I had. You know, I don't know if you've seen those things called real dolls. It's the thing in America. It's like a silicon love doll. You can make childlike versions of that. And then if we get the Greys down here, because they're so good with technology, you could even make like robot versions, so like a robot sex doll. It won't be like an actual kid. Well, it'll look like an actual kid. But so the pedos, so you meet them halfway. So you say to the pedos, look, you cannot do anything to actual kids or you're going to get crucified. Right, but we realise you can't help what you're sexually attracted to. So here's CGI child porn, and here's, some childlike sex doll. And maybe it's even like a robot animatronic with the Greys tech. It's more sophisticated than your stuff. So we're meeting the pedos halfway, but if you touch an actual kid or do stuff to actual kids, then there's a good chance you're going to get crucified. And if you don't get crucified, right, Roman crucifixion, if you don't get that, you're just going to get your fucking face kicked in prison. You won't be any protection for you in prison. So you just have to make do with what you're given and view what you've got in paedophilia as an affliction. And you just have to, give yourself a hand job, wank it out, just masturbate, and that's it. Don't actually do anything to actual kids. That's how it needs to be. But like I say, it's the Greys. But you can't get too angry at the Greys. You got to remember, the Greys are a very weak alien species. Great intellectually, great with science, but physically very weak. And they've got rulers. They're ruled over by the Nordics. As far as I'm aware, that's how it works. That's who their bosses are. And you know, they're an alien species, so they have no allegiance to you. So if an alien species just says, you know, do this, do that, jump off a cliff or do something stupid, and you go and do it, because they're not from your planet, you know, they've got no allegiance to you. Do you know what I mean? It's your fault for just doing everything that they say. Instead of questioning it and saying, hang on a second, mate, you're 4 foot fucking tall. And you're skinny as fuck. I reckon you're shit at fighting. I don't care how good your tech is. And obviously the Greys, they need you big time. Because how do you get alien Earths if you're shit at fighting? If you can't carry a big heavy machine gun. You've got to be able to carry weapons and stuff. You're a skinny, weak little fuck. You're not built for fighting. They've got pulsating heads, for fuck's sake. So just taking, you know, hits to the head, they'd be useless at. See what I mean? Anyway, we're going to look at how they fuck with your technology a little bit to keep you in the dark. Okay, what I've got here on this little table, I've got a speed controller for an electric motor. Right, that's a speed controller. Now, that's one that's all fitted together, and I've been using it upstairs. I'm into science. Now, this is the internals. So this is what is inside this. If you were to take this apart to unscrew the screws, take it all apart, you get this inside. Now this, if you actually look at it, there is like a computer motherboard here. It's quite complex. Yet all it is a speed controller for a motor. But look at the complexity of it in here. This computer motherboard, right? Now with a speed controller, the bit you only really need is this bit and a fuse. That's called a potentiometer. I'm not gonna go into too much detail on how potentiometers work, but they just add or reduce resistance in a circuit, basically. And it works on like a rotary knob that you turn. See, so that increases speed, right? So that increases the speed of the motor, so it reduces the resistance in the circuit. And if I turn the speed dial back a bit lower, it increases the resistance. So that's what controls the spin of the motor. I'm not going to get too scientific with you because you're not actually that smart. But just take my word for it. All this motherboard, all this like little motherboard, this green little computer chip board, you don't need. It's got a little digital readout as well. You don't actually need that. The only bit you need is the bit that you turn there, that bit, yeah? That's the only bit that you need. It's the exact same as a volume control on a radio. A potentiometer, that little bit you turn, that little rotary knob, it's just the same as a volume control. It increases or decreases resistance in the circuit, which then either raises the volume or decreases the volume of the radio, or increases the speed. With this case, a speed controller for a motor, increases the speed of the motor or decreases it. So why have we got this green computer chipboard that makes this thing overly complicated? Because this speed controller, like all your electronic technology, all your computer technology, has been designed by the Greys. They're the ones who design it. You're just the brainless morons who bolt it together, really. They're the ones who design this stuff. And it's excessively complex. The reason it's excessively complex is so that you don't understand electric. The whole universe is made from electrical energy emitted by stars. So stars, imagine you've got a star there, and a star there. It's got 4 stars. In the middle, you might get a big nebula. Like all their electrical energy emitted by them stars begins to form a nebula where you get more stars created. I don't want to talk too much detail on how the universe works. You don't need to know it. You probably won't understand it. It doesn't really matter. But all this is electrical energy. Everything. Matter's made from electrical energy emitted by stars. So you need to understand that. But the thing with the Greys is they don't want you to understand the intricacies of the universe and how electronics work properly, because then you might no longer need the Greys. Do you know what I mean? You might just think, well, we've figured it all out now. We don't need you. So they've designed this technology here to be excessively complex, so that what happened with me was I connected a 12-volt battery to this, and then I connected to it a 24-volt motor, and it burnt this out. The circuit board on this got burnt out because on the battery, you know, there's like big batteries that you get, a big battery, 12-volt big battery. You got them in your car. There'll be a motherboard in that. There'll be a motherboard, like the little green board with the chips on it, that communicate with each other and say, oh no, he's trying to connect a 24-volt motor to a 12-volt battery, so this thing shorts out. It broke. But there's nothing wrong with trying to connect. What they don't want you to understand electronics, the Greys. There's nothing wrong with connecting a 24-volt motor to a 12-volt battery, because inside the battery there's more than 12 volts. There's way more than that. It's a big store of energy. So all that would happen is, well, depending on the speed that you run the 24-volt motor, if you run it at full speed, it will draw more electric from the battery. But they don't want you to understand these things. They want you to be constantly in the dark about how electronics work. Like I've explained to you how volts, amps and watts are all just different increments of the same thing, electrical energy. Just different increments of it. To say maybe a volt's that much, maybe a watt's that much, and an amp's that much. You know what I mean? Like a volt's that, an amp's that, and a watt's that. It's the same, but it's all a measurement of the same thing, just in different increments. But they don't want you to know stuff like that. They want you to be totally confused. Your scientists are not very good. Your scientists build things like big nuclear fusion reactors, which are utterly stupid. You know, I mean, well, I told you how to do free energy. I'm not going to go on and on about that. It's fairly straightforward. And you've got all these wind turbines everywhere. You just bolt a little motor to spin the turbine instead of relying on the wind. There's one way of making free energy. There's less energy that goes into the motor than comes out the back of the turbine. More comes out the back of the turbine. So free energy is not an issue. The Earth makes free energy. The sun does, making free energy for you constantly. So, you know, that's something obviously humanity need big time with pollution and everything. You want a car that you just plug, you know, you don't have to keep filling it up with petrol. You just drive it. It just makes energy inside the car for you that you need, you know, electrical energy. But this is just how it is. But that was always, the Greys have worked so hard in designing your technology so that you don't learn too much about electronics. They've done that to always try and keep you in the dark and under their thumb. You know what I mean? Under their control, because that's their power over you. They're better with tech. They're better with science. But they need you. You need to work together with them, almost like a symbiotic species. Symbiotic, you know, work together, because they're good at science, and you've got to be the foot soldiers. Well, the men have got to be the foot soldiers. There's not much point putting women on a battlefield. It's not ideal, really. They need to put big, strong, scary, hard men on alien battlefields. And that's just how it is. What let's talk about now is reptilians, right? Yeah, reptilians are real. I've proven that to you enough times. Reptilians are real. But the thing you need to understand, right, monkey men, I've been seeing where there's been British tourists recently getting killed when they go abroad. And I'm not sure if that's because they're being targeted by monkey men because they're reptilians. So if you're in Britain, it's a reptile island. So if you're a British guy, you're a reptile, right? I was born to reptilian parents, but I'm different than them because I can't do the shape-shifting. I do little demons on my head and like sixes in my eyes. I've got like, you know, pictures on my hands and stuff like that. I'm Satan. But not all reptilians are bad. You've got to understand that. Like, there's plenty of reptilians, they're just innocent, good people. They've got this king, King Charles, who they don't like. They fucking hate him. He's a piece of shit. And they know there needs to be change. He needs to be got rid of. And God in heaven is working on it, killing him with the mind powers. He's, as far as I'm aware, he's done Kate Middleton. Prince William's nearly dead, or he's dead already. Camilla's there with a walking stick. You know, she's struggling. And King Charles has got cancer. So God is working them over. And he's getting rid of them. And, you know, God's got his plan. And I'm just here as his worker to sort of keep you informed on all this, on what's happening. But you've got to realise that average reptilians are not bad guys. So you shouldn't attack them. If you're living in Greece or something, and you've got a British tourist there, and you're a monkey man, well, that British tourist will almost certainly be a reptilian, yes. But there's no point killing him, because if you kill someone who's innocent, who's done nothing other than just be born a reptilian, then you're going to go down to hell. God is going to judge you as being a bad guy and you deserve to be in hell. There's plenty of reptilians that are good people, but they have got this allegiance to the king, the lizard king, who they don't even like. The way they see it, it's up to God to sort it out and get rid of them. And you're going to have Harry come in, and hopefully Harry's going to work with me, and if he don't, God's going to kill him and he'll be going down to hell next. So, you know, Prince Harry. So this is what you've got to realise. There's no point, I mean, reptilians have been living alongside monkey man forever, since you've existed. You know what I mean? There's no point getting angry now, monkey man. What I'm trying to say is, if you're getting angry at someone just because you've got suspicions they're reptilian, they're a British tourist in your country, and you think, well, they must be reptilian, right, we'll kill them. If you do that, you're going to go down to hell, because what have they done to you? If they've done nothing to you, you're going to be judged by God in a very harsh way. Yeah, lizard people are real. It's just a thing, you're too stupid to feel. I mean, both the lizards are stupid, but the monkeys are stupid too. You're fucking stupid. Both lizard and monkey are fucking stupid. The Greys are smart, you're stupid. You've got to get that through your head. Your job, right? You need a big strong man, right? This is your job, right? Big strong man, machine gun in your hand, big heavy machine gun, loads of ammo, right? And you march and you pull the trigger at the fucking enemy. You don't have to be very intelligent to do that. Do you understand? That's why you're not very intelligent. And you need to get that through your fucking head. You're fucking stupid. You're not designed to be that smart. You're designed to be strong, hold machine guns and pull triggers at targets, alien races. And, you know, the Greys will do the fancy computer tech for you. They'd be useless at doing the machine gun work. They couldn't pick up the fucking machine gun. So that's what you need to understand. But reptilians have lived alongside monkeys forever and a day. No point getting angry about it now if you are. I've heard a few stories in the media recently that, you know, there's seeing British tourists getting attacked and killed. And I'm suspecting it's because it's monkey men who are killing them. And that's just all totally wrong. You're supposed to live and work together, and there's supposed to be a lizard-monkey merge, which I'm supposed to be the guy who tries to make that happen, where my offspring can produce kids with lizards and produce kids with monkeys. You know, do you know what I mean? So you merge into one sort of species, become hybridized. That's how it's supposed to happen. You're not supposed to be killing each other. So you need to understand that. Yeah, you know, Britney Spears is a green lizard. She's actual, you know, she is a lizard woman, reptilian. So what? No point getting angry about it. She's a good singer, good dancer. What's she done to hurt you? Nothing. She just sung good songs and done good music videos. So don't be getting angry, monkey men. If you're getting angry, you need to fucking grow up a little bit, is what I'm saying. And that's coming from God in heaven. He's told me to tell you that. So you need to pay attention, because if you don't, you do some really bad stuff to a reptilian for no reason, you are going to hell for that. Because that just, it's not on. It's like hating, what you're doing is hating someone. It's like hating a man for being born black. You say, well, I'm going to hate him just because he's got black skin and I've got, you know, white skin. It was totally unfair, because he's born black. You know, it's not like he's chosen it. And you were born white. It's pointless hating each other, isn't it? Yes, you need to understand this, monkey club. You need to try and get along. Yeah. Well, that's the end of the video now. So I'll see you in the next one.